All right, so in this lesson, I'm going to show you how to find a missing angle measure. And we're going to do that using what we know about certain types of angles. So when finding an unknown angle measure, you will use the known characteristics of the different types of angles to solve it. So you're going to use what you know about vertical angles, supplementary angles, complementary angles to go ahead and solve for the missing. All right, so what do we know about vertical angles? We know that vertical angles are the angles that are formed when we have two lines that intersect and they share a vertex here. So what makes these vertical angles is the fact that they both share rays along the purple line and the blue line. So this right here, A and B, angle A and B are vertical. And then we could even take it further and say angle C and D are also vertical. And what is special about vertical angles is that they are congruent, which means that they equal the same measurement. So that means that this angle is congruent to this angle. And we show congruency with the little tick mark. And this angle is congruent to this angle. Supplementary angles. What do we know about supplementary angles is that together, when we add them together, they equal a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So if this were if I started here, this would be 0 degrees. And as I open my ray, it would get larger and larger, right? So here is where angle B is. Here would be about a 90-degree angle, right? And then as we come this way, we get to obtuse angles, and then to where it lays all the way flat. That's what we call a straight angle or a straight line, and that's equal to 180 degrees. So here's 0 over here. We brought it all the way around to 180 degrees. So supplementary angles are two angles that combined equal 180 degrees. They do not have to be adjacent. Remember, adjacent means they are side by side. They don't have to be side by side. They do not have to share a ray. They just have to together equal 180 degrees. So this angle here could possibly be like 30 degrees. And then this one could be, let's say, 150 degrees. But together, angle A plus angle B equals 180 degrees. Complementary angles are angles that together equal 90 degrees. So it's similar to supplementary, but they only equal 90 degrees. So if we have, I forgot my little 90-degree symbol. When you see that symbol, that lets you know that you're dealing with a right angle or a 90-degree angle. So if A is, let's say, 45 degrees, that means that B also has to be 45 degrees because together they are part of this right angle. All right, so let me show you an example of how we will use what we know about the different types of angles to figure out what we don't know. In this diagram below, it's the intersection of Elm Street and 5th Avenue. Elm and 5th Avenue. And we know that angle 1, the measure of angle 1 is 25.7 degrees. So this one right here is 25.7 degrees. Well, I know together this one, this angle, angle 1, and angle 2 is this one, together they complete a half arc, or they complete a straight line. So together they make 180. And also together angle 1 and angle 4 also make a straight line this way. So together they make 180. So that means angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary. So in order to figure out what angle 4 is, I just know it's the remaining part of 180, right? So I'm going to take 180 and subtract this part to figure out what the missing part is. I'm going to subtract angle 1 measurement. So angle 1 is 25.7. I'm going to subtract that from 180 and I get 154.3. So the measure of angle 4 is 154.3 degrees. I'll do it a different color. This one right here. Now, to find the measure of angle 3, again, I could look at it two different ways. I can say together angles 3 and 4 make a half arc, right? So they equal 180. Or I can go the easy route and say that angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. And I know vertical angles are congruent. They are the same. So if this one is 25.7 degrees, angle 3 is also 25.7 degrees. You don't even have to do any math there. And the same with angles 2 and 4. Angles 2 and 4, we can say that they are vertical angles also. So therefore they are equal. So we figured out what all of the angles equal. This one here equals 154.3. All total, we add them all together, we have a complete circle. This is going to give us 360 degrees. All right, here's a second example. I want you to go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure out the missing angles using what you know about the angles that you do have. Okay, so if we were given that the measure of angle 8 is 72 degrees, so looking at the diagram, angle 8 is here. Right next to it is angle 5, and together they form a straight line. They form the teal line. So I know the measure of angle 8 plus the measure of angle 5 is going to give me 180 degrees. So I'm going to set this up like a one-step algebraic equation. I know the measure of angle 8 is 72 degrees plus the measure of angle 5 is equal to 180 degrees. So now I'm going to subtract the 72 degrees from both sides. That goes away over here, and I'm left with the measure of angle 5 is equal to 108 degrees. So that's how we got the 108 degrees. So once I have these two, now it's just a matter of using vertical angles now. So the vertical angle to angle 8 is angle 6. and so those are congruent. So if angle 8 is 72 degrees, angle 6 is also 72 degrees. Sorry. And the same with angle 5 and angle 7. If angle 5 is 108 degrees, angle 7 is also 108 degrees.